is Sunday. Another beautiful day. Okay. Ooh. You gotta be. I am. Okay. So now, on this beautiful Sunday. It's Sunday today, yeah. Meditative. Okay. Yep. I hear it again. Peace and quiet. As always. I really just like it like this. Just peace and quiet. It's all by myself. Really funny, I get to walk a mile in this run these days. And I'm just that way when I'm holding this camera, I'm able to just, I can actually see what I'm doing. That's just what it is. I can actually see what I'm doing. I like the quietness of that nature. Just the quietness, the sun blowing. Absolutely amazing that yesterday it was cold like a mother biscuit. And then today the weather has changed. So as I'm tracking along, I think I'm gonna add another 100 to my push-ups. I think I've got more time now, so it's becoming more that I'm like, wow, it's a lot easier to do 500 push-ups during the yoga section, more than we realize. But it takes, when you begin to practice every day, you find that way. It's just like anything in life, you find your way through it. And you begin to make it part of your daily, what do I call it? Daily association. The key thing about this whole thing too is what I really enjoy is the emotions that comes with it. That was a nice one. He's speeding, huh? Yeah, he's gone. The emotion that comes with it. The getting to ask questions, and I was even saying this morning that I have a, what do I call it? Breakup, get over relationship medicine that I want to share. You know, it's one of those medicine, and that's the thing about this whole running thing. And when you become real mindful, life becomes real funny. So that medicine is one of those where you get to cry a lot. What I like about this whole thing is I get to share my own emotion with myself, where if I needed to cry, and I just do my little tears and keep it moving, and then I have that chemical released in my brain. Then I realize, okay, it's not that bad. You gotta just, keep it going. So I stopped playing the whole idea about a man should not cry. I remember when I went through a breakup one time. So what I started doing is, I go to Kroger. It's what I call the medicine section. Don't worry, it's not the pharmaceuticals. I go and get some grapes, and I usually find a nice movie that is pertaining to the relationship that I was in, and I will watch that movie and cry so humbly and nicely with the grapes in my mouth and just tearing down. Oh no, why? And as those tears roll down, then all of a sudden I feel good. Then I will go out and run 20 miles the next day. So I came to a stage where now, before the crying section, I go in the house. I will pause whatever it is I'm watching that creates the emotion, stretch my body, make sure I'm sitting down properly, cross my leg, and just let it all out with the grapes in my mouth. Let all the tears out. And I think I did that for like 4 months, and I would get up the next morning and run 20 miles. But this day, I had a wake-up call, and when the question came to ask me, so what do you do in this relationship? Is there anything your fault? So when I heard that question, I began to move my head slightly. Oh, wow. And from all these many running, I have learned how to find things that is my fault. And I just accept it. So during those moments, after 6 months of eating grapes every night and running 20 miles every day, and voila, I was able to move on. Because then, within the crying, the stretching, and the running, I was able to realize, don't just blame her. What did you do wrong? And the moment I realized I did something wrong, I was able to keep running. And it was all good. And that's the thing about this many miles that I put on my feet. Because it allows me to see my own wrongdoing. It almost makes it easy for me to block out what other people say. So I begin to listen to my own inner being. That's the whole thing about this thing. My own inner self. I begin to listen to it. I stop listening to what people say. And I was able to move on with life. So coming out here every day, that's part of the process. That's the thing. Some of the things that I gain out of it is the reality check that comes with it. It never lied to me. And I wish I could say what my favorite food is, but I eat very little. I truly eat very little, but I live off of water. I drink more water in the morning than you know. So because the more water I drink, the less I eat. Because sometimes when you are doing a lot of running like that, sometimes your food can actually sit on your lower back. And sometimes the lower back problem that some of us has is because of the food that is sitting right there that is not going through that pipe. And sometimes, a lot of time when you begin to do that, you'll get meditating a lot. Your lower back problem can disappear if you just learn how to eat little and drink a lot of water. And that's what I've learned with all this thing, because I begin to be my own holistic individual. I did my own research. Here's Robert. Read a lot of books about the body, and I was able to sort of just come up with what's wrong with my own body. Believe it or not, a lot of people think the only time that they can get an answer to what's wrong with their body is when they actually go to the doctor and he has to put something in them. 50% of the time, yeah, the doctor will tell you what's wrong, but also 50% of the time, your body actually speaks to you. You just have to understand the language that it's speaking. And a lot of time, we tend to ignore it because it's very easy. Just ignore what the body says. I'll be like, yeah, biscuit. So, and those are the things that I've come to learn when it comes to what is running. A lot of people always talk about the injuries that they have. The key thing to this getting up every day to exercise and run is to how do I put this? Don't let your surroundings bother you. When you let your surroundings bother you, you create room for injuries. Life is always going to be challenging. And that's why sometimes I like about the Buddhist form of ideology, how to ease life's pain. Life is always going to be challenging. You're always going to go through stuff. And I'm not saying that it's easy to focus one's mind, but it's also attainable to be able to control the mind during the time that you're going through whatever it is that you're going through, because that's just part of life. It is going to happen. And once we realize those things, we are able to control it. The thing about most of us is we do not get hold of our mind. And that's the reason why, for example, why a lot of my friends think I'm crazy, because I learned to be what I call content with the way life is. And if you haven't practiced mind control based on your emotion, when someone is going through hard times, you do not know how to comfort them, but to just destroy. Because it becomes, that's my turn around. Whew, I'm going to start running soon. It becomes, how do I say this? It becomes all about you. Because even though a lot of people will tell me, yeah, we care about you, that's why we want you to do this. No, you don't. It's just all about you, because you know that deep down in your heart, if you were in my shoes, your emotions will be all over the place. I have a perfect example where I have one of my very, very close uncle who drinks a lot, smoke a lot. That's just what he does. And we're very cool, so I call him my uncle. And when people see me calling him uncle because he likes to drink, I see the facial expression. It's like, why are you calling him uncle? Didn't you see this? But what I've noticed is a lot of people do not like him drinking because they do the same thing. But he does it more than them. So I really look at it this way. Who are you to judge him because he likes to drink 20 glasses of beers, but you think you're better than him because you only drink 7? So I don't understand that. And so the tangle is there. Yeah, I don't like him. He's this, he's that. And I'm always saying the only reason why you guys are arguing about you don't like him doing this, he does that, is because you do the same thing that he does. So for anyone to sit down and I see people do that. People that drink do that. When they see someone that really drinks more than they do, they call him an alcoholic and but the thing that I would say is you do the same thing. Just because you do it at a certain period doesn't mean you're better than the other person. And that's what I've seen a lot, and that's why I just sort of ignore things. I don't say nothing. I just sort of look. Because when you don't meditate, how do I say this? Your sense of clarity is blocked. You're easily fooled because you don't sit with yourself. You could try to deny it and try to pretend, but when you do not sit quietly by yourself, it's really funny. I would say, yeah, I'm going to see a psychic lady. They say, no, you are the psychic. The only reason why you cannot feel people's vibration is because you don't take time for yourself. And that's why this running thing is part of the reason, because if you can come out and run, you can learn how to meditate. I know that biscuit excuse about, I don't have time, I can't get my mind still. No, you chose not to get your mind still. Because I kid you not, everybody that says that, I can't get my mind still, but you will get your mind still when you're in the bedroom having sex. Everybody say, I can't get my mind to still. No. When you having sex in your bedroom with your lover, your mind stills then. So if you tell me that, yeah, I can't get my mind to still, I can't even have sex, then I'll be like, okay, yeah. But if you say, I just can't sit down and meditate, but yeah, you could get your mind still and lay with your man or girl, come on. It's just the same for me. It's the same ideology. So I'll say you full of biscuit. And these are the wisdom, these are the things that I've learned on my feet. So today I'm going to get another 20 mile in. Just like yesterday, I get to run and stop and walk. It's just so much fun. I just love doing it. I'm very passionate. I look forward to getting up every morning. And I kid you not, I was telling one of my friends yesterday, I do not know how I do this anymore. How I get up every morning and just say, okay, let's go. If I say I knew, I'm telling you some biscuit. It's just like a habit now. Just get up and move your feet. I even did it throughout an injury because it's a habit of just moving the feet. So the brain just said, don't worry, you got pain, just move the feet slowly. I do not know how I do this. And that's why I'm very humble about it. That's why I don't like all the race thing anymore. I even stopped racing. I don't do none of that. I don't do all that, yeah, let's race. No, because it takes the energy. It takes so much focus out of that energy that I needed. Because the energy that is needed to be able to push and push and push like that requires calmness. That's why for anyone that's watched the martial art movie, you always see the guy that can fight and beat people up is always slow, calm, and that's just the whole thing about Taoism and mindfulness. And that's the same way running is. To be able to put those miles on your body, you have to be calm. And that calmness, I always say, I learned it from a woman. Because when a woman is about to give birth to a baby, they are very calm. And I keep saying this, when I saw a woman push out my son, I knew I could run 100 miles. So running 20 miles, 26 miles, that's not really a big deal. I look at it just to be like a stroll. This is not really a big deal at all. The only big deal about running 26 miles is up here in the brain. You're perfectly designed for it. And I know a lot of people are going to say all these things, all these experts are going to talk. No, the only big deal about running a marathon is in your brain. Or running, exercising, period, is in your brain. And we all have that. And once you get through that in your mind, you'll be really amazed what your body can do. And I think it's so funny because a lot of us don't respect our mothers. Because when you look at what a woman goes through to push out a baby, if a woman can be in labor for 14, 12 hours, man, you have no reason not to go out, especially for guys. Man, you should be able to go around 26 miles, just like that, back to back. Easy. Your body can do it. Your body, you can do anything. Anything with this body. Absolutely amazing. So for a minute, forget about the material. Just tap into your own body. Push yourself. So I don't know what my mileage is, but I'm going to start my countdown. I'm over 6,000 miles right off now. So the end of the year is coming. So I did the 6,000 miles this year. Go see for next year how many miles I want to do. It's been a beautiful year. So let me continue this easy 20 miles today as I look up the sky and learn how to walk. That is part of running. Learn how to walk. The reason why you cannot stop and walk during your runs most of the time is because you have not developed the muscles in your body the way you thought you have. So, happy Sunday. Enjoy the holidays. Let me enjoy this. Now it's beautiful weather. As I started the run already and say, one love.